What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with TechDaily. So some of you might remember a couple months back that I reviewed LG's complete lineup of portable speakers, their XBOOM PK3, PK5, and PK7. Those were all great speakers on their own, and especially now that they've come down in price a ton, I think they're a crazy good value. But LG recently launched one more speaker in a similar style to these that's even bigger, even better, and an even better deal overall. This monstrosity is their new XBOOM RK7. It's a 550 watt, somewhat portable speaker that's shape and setup is very similar to the PK series, but this one packs a whole bunch more. And right now you can actually pick one up for $350, which for a speaker of this size with this many features is an insane deal in my opinion. Of course, if you want to learn more about any of LG's XBOOM speakers, or maybe you want to pick one up for yourself, I'll have everything listed down below in the video description, as well as a link to my previous video featuring the smaller speakers if you happen to miss that. So before we go any further, I'd like to take just a second to give a special thanks to today's video sponsor, bookmark.com. If you're trying to create an online presence for yourself or your business this year, or maybe you'd like to just build a simple website but don't know where to start, Bookmark is an easy to use and completely free website builder powered by AI. You can create a professional looking website in just a matter of minutes by answering 7 simple questions and letting Ada, Bookmark's artificial intelligence design assistant, do all the rest. There's hundreds of themes and styles to choose from, including e-commerce integration to take your business to the next level, and it can all be done with no programming or coding skills required. If you're interested in getting a jumpstart on building your online presence in 2019 with a free and easy to use website builder, check out the link in the video description to bookmark.com to learn more, and thanks so much again to Bookmark for making today's video possible. Right off the bat, let me just say that it's sort of hard to convey just how large this speaker is, especially when you compare it to LG's PK lineup of speakers, which have an almost identical shape and design to this one. At almost 26 inches tall and nearly 14 inches wide, this speaker could technically still fit on a table or desk, but obviously that's a bit much. So in my opinion, this is more of a floor speaker, though it isn't nearly as tall or as large as some of LG's other XBOOM floor speakers and karaoke machines. One important thing to note about the RK7 here is that unfortunately it isn't a wireless portable speaker like the PK lineup. It does need to be plugged into the wall, but its overall design and form factor actually make it pretty easy to maneuver and move around if you still need to. Up at the top, you've got a couple gaps you can slide your hand in to pick the speaker up if you need to, and the entire thing has this sort of cage-like design with lots to grab onto, and the whole setup sort of makes me confident that it's tough enough if anything were to happen. You'll notice that this speaker can actually be set upright or on its side. There's rubber contact points for both orientation, which I definitely find useful, and actually the speaker itself will recognize when its orientation changes and actually adjust the sound in real time automatically to ensure the proper listening experience, whether it's upright or laying down. In order to fully control the speaker, you can either use the remote that's included in the box, and this obviously lets you do anything from changing the volume to controlling the music to altering the sound profile and adding sound effects and even flipping through the different LED light show modes. But the speaker also has the same button controls along the top too, with a small screen to keep you updated on what you're messing with. And the button controls are sort of set up in 4 different categories to keep things organized. The top left sort of quadrant has your main power button and 2 buttons that will set up wireless party link, which allows you to connect up to 10 different RK7s at once, which is absolutely insane. With these buttons, you're able to select which speaker is the main unit and make adjustments with how many other speakers are connected. The next set of buttons, of course, are the volume controls, and just as a side note, I'll talk about the audio quality in a second, but this speaker gets insanely loud. There's 40 volume notches, and I cranked mine up to about 11 or 12, and that was enough to shake my apartment. The next 4 buttons here are your music controls for playing, pausing, skipping, and rewinding a song, and the F button is how you select what input mode you're using for getting sound to the speaker. This thing supports Bluetooth, LG TV, USB, optical, auxiliary, and even has a built-in radio, so a ton of different ways to play music. The last set of buttons gives you full control over some sound settings like adjusting the bass, treble, and other elements of the music, and also this is where you can adjust the LED light show as well. Similar to a lot of other LG XBOOM products, the speaker has that LED light setup behind the 2 woofers up front that can flicker to the beat of a song or fade and pulse or do really whatever else you want them to. And I know a lot of people might consider the whole light show thing kind of gimmicky, but I honestly like it, and it adds a fun party element to the speaker without sacrificing anything else, and you can turn the lights completely off anyway if you want to. Around back is where you'll find all your inputs, including a spot for the radio antenna, aux, optical, USB, and a mic input. Although a microphone isn't included here with this package, you can turn the RK7 into a karaoke machine by just plugging in a mic, and it does have LG's impressive auto voice muting functionality, which will seamlessly remove voice from any song that plays in real time. So you can use the song that's playing as a karaoke track. That's something I experienced firsthand with a larger OK99 speaker when I reviewed it a couple of months ago, and it's a really impressive feature to have built in. So now that we've talked all about the buttons and pretty lights, let's get to the important part, the sound. The RK7 is a 550 watt speaker with dual tweeters and dual woofers dividing up the power. The woofers up front are 6.5 inches each with 2-inch tweeters, and all in all, it's not the biggest or most robust hardware in the world, but a solid combination that ends up producing an excellent listening experience. Like I mentioned earlier, whether the speaker is upright or on its side, it's going to automatically adjust to give you the best listening experience possible, and no matter how you're getting your audio, whether it's Bluetooth, aux, or whatever, you're getting an excellent sound. I know it's sort of impossible to judge sound quality through a YouTube video like this since everyone is listening different ways, but here's just a small audio sample to give you an idea.
I don't wanna see you cry. You don't have to feel this emptiness. She said I love you.
The speaker is very loud, it's perfectly crisp, there's a ton of bass without getting distorted, and if you aren't happy with the standard sound profile that the speaker delivers, you can of course make adjustments to come up with the right sound for you. Given its size, I expected a lot from a speaker like this, and it doesn't disappoint at all. It's not quite as powerful as some of LG's other top-of-the-line units, but this thing is really amazing in its own right, and I think it's the perfect sort of starter dedicated floor speaker for just about everyone. A couple other things to note about this speaker: you've got TV sound sync with this guy, so you can also use it sort of like a sound bar, either over Bluetooth or optical, which is pretty awesome. And it also pairs with LG's Android app, which sort of turns the speaker into a full-blown DJ setup with sound effects and looping and other controls if you happen to be into that. Most importantly though, the RK7 is $350. That's an insanely good price for a speaker of this size that packs this many features. I personally think that all of LG's XBOOM products are super underrated, and I know they came in at a pretty steep price last year, but they're all a really good bargain now at more than 30% off their original prices. And I think LG learned their lesson here with the RK7. $350 is seriously the perfect price for this, and I think most anyone would be happy with the purchase. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of LG's massive RK7 speaker in the comments down below. Also, be sure to follow TechDaily on Twitter and subscribe to the TechDaily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.